Hey guys, Kevin here, Texas Better Lawn Service. So what we have here is our Ferris Z1. It's our #1 mower that we use every day, and we are up to 87 hours. And we bought it last year in September, so that's a lot of hours in a short amount of time. All we've done to it is just grease the grease fittings, once every couple of months, clean out the air filter, and change the oil, but we haven't changed the oil filter. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to go ahead and switch out these spark plugs and change the oil and change the oil filter. We're going to go with Mobil 1 full synthetic oil. Probably a little overkill, but I'm a big Mobil 1 fan. I have it in both my Dodge trucks. That's the best stuff on the market. They're the very first company to ever make a full synthetic blend. And they also just released an annual oil, synthetic oil for automobiles. So it's a 20,000 mile oil. I think that's phenomenal. So I'm getting my 2 trucks oil changed probably this month, and I'm going to put that in both of them. One of the other things I use in my trucks is, or in my older truck, my work truck, is the Slick 50. That's pretty incredible stuff. It's one of the few oil additives that's FAA approved for air derivative turbines as well as for automobiles, so that says a lot right there. We're going to go with the Mobil 1 full synthetic for this guy, and then we're also going to add a little bit of the Lucas oil engine treatment. It's for high performance engines like motorcycles, sports cars, anything where there's a lot of fast moving parts. And we're just going to add a little bit of that in there, not a whole lot. And that's really going to help protect the cylinder wall and those other components in there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop the oil. Now the Ferris is pretty awesome because it has a lot of really useful features where some of the other brands, like I won't mention any names, like Toro or anything, but changing the oil with them is horrible. So Ferris here has this little hose where if you had Toro, you'd have that right there, and then you'd have oil all over the darn place. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to pull this pin, lower the deck as far down as we can. There we go. All right, put this back in there, and we got ourselves a Chick-fil-A sweet tea, and we're going to open that drain plug, and we're just going to let that baby. I'm using a milk jug because it fits right in here just like that. And we're going to drop that right in there and just let it drain. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get a wrench. We'll need 2 wrenches. One to hold on here and the other one to take that off and let that guy drain. We're going to go ahead and undo the oil cap a little bit so that way air can flow and it'll flow a little quicker. And once all the oil's out, we're going to go ahead and pull the filter off. Now it may run some oil, so you want a couple of rags handy, and I would go ahead and just put one underneath it, to go ahead and slide underneath here, and that way it's ready. So we're going to go ahead and get the wrenches, get the towels, and we'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and put one towel underneath here. And this is going to help catch a lot of that stuff that's going to drip down and okay. Alright, so we need that wrench. So we got a 5/8 wrench, and then we're going to use an adjustable wrench here. Oh, there we go. Should be just enough to get that little guy going. It's going to hold about a quart and a half. That's including the oil that's in the filter. So what's going to drop out of here, be somewhere in between there. Filter always going to hold some. So we're going to go ahead and drain this, and we'll be right back. After. All right, so it's pretty much all drained up that it's going to do. So so we want to go ahead and take this guy off. Now, you only want to put these filters on hand tight, but I don't know how tight the last person put it on, so we're going to find out. Now, I do have an oil filter wrench, but we're going to try it by hand first and see if it comes off. There we go. Alright, not bad. Some people really crank down on it, man, you just don't want to do that. So when you take these off, you want to be quick. Just like that. See what I tell you about all that oil. James, if you can hand me another towel, please.
Yeah, where are they?
In that top cabinet by the door. Just put that in there and that'll help soak that up. Now, doing an oil change is something you don't want to rush, so you just take your time and you just let it drain and do its course and be just fine. And make sure you don't get anything inside there. So we'll let this guy continue to drip just a couple more minutes, and when we're done, we'll put these rags and that oil filter into this can, and then we'll dispose of it properly, probably at AutoZone or O'Reilly's where we can dump the oil. And I don't think that costs anything. Alright, so we'll let that drain. We'll come back in just a minute. Okay guys, so it looks like we pretty much got it drained. We're going to go ahead and put this plug back on, and that way this guy can stop draining here. Let's see here, hold it up here. James, if you can get me that oil filter right next to your foot, please.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
In fact, I'm not going to hand you the box. I'm going to hand you the oil filter.
Oh, stop it now.
Here you are.
Alright, thank you, dude. Alright, so we got all our equipment and supplies and stuff from DNS Lawn. DNS Lawn and Automotive. They're in Tomball, Texas. They've been in business since 1970. So for some of you who can't count, that's like 48 years. It's a long time. Same owner too, family owned. And they sell ferris. In fact, they sell more ferris than all of the major. Well, the major dealer that's in Houston is Lansdowne Moody, and they carry ferris. Well, DNS sells more ferris than Lansdowne Moody, so I think that's pretty awesome. But anyways, so we get all our stuff from them, and they take real good care of us, and so we like to take care of it. All right. Plus, we take our trucks there for oil changes and stuff. All right. So that's on there. So before we put that in its spot, we're gonna go ahead and get this. Let's see here. All right. All right. So before we put this oil filter on, which we're using the OEM Kawasaki oil filter here, okay, you want to apply a little bit of oil around this ring. So we're just gonna reach in here, grab some off of that, and we're just gonna put it around there. And the reason you want to do that is so that way when you go to tighten it there and around here, ooh, that's sharp, and around there, is it will seal a little bit better. It'll get a little bit tighter, and where if it's dry, it may not want to go on, you know, and you may not, it may seem like it's tight and it's not, and all of a sudden under that pressure, that heavy load, when that engine's running, and then starts spewing oil everywhere, next thing you know, you've blown your engine. So we want to do this for automobiles too. Alright, so we got that on there. We're going to go put this guy. You want to make sure you go straight on, and if you feel any resistance, just take it right back off. You want to make sure you're not cross-threading those guys. You see? So that's how I know I'm not cross-threading. Alright, so once you get it kind of where it stops on its own, not there yet, we're going to give it a little bit more of a turn, maybe another quarter turn by hand, or half turn. There we go, and that's good. Alright, that's all we need. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our oil rags out here. There we go. So by having these rags here, that really helped cut down on that mess. You know, I mean, it would have been all over the place. Get on your belts, and screeching belts, smoking belts. You'd smell the oil, and it's just a big mess. So, all right, put this in this little deal right here. It's pretty awesome. I like ferris. It's my favorite kind of mower. Them Kubota. Both of those guys are awesome. Now we do have spark plugs to put in, but we don't have spark plug sockets like I thought I had. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and get a funnel, and right now, of course, we're gonna be reading 0 on our dipstick here. And rightfully so, because there's nothing in there. Alright, so we got our filter, or sorry, our funnel here. Now it's going to take 1.5 quarts, so you can just go ahead and pour that first quart and not even have to think twice about it. That's what we're going to do. So we're using a 10W30 in this guy. I think I have some Lucas engine oil treatment. If not, we can get some, but I think I got some somewhere right over here. Yeah, it's right here. It's the Lucas oil, heavy duty oil stabilizer. Oil is not enough and it eliminates dry starts, the #1 cause of wear in engines and so on. Seals worn cylinders to slow oil consumptions, cool and quiets engines and gearboxes. Extra protection needed in 4-cylinder and high-performance engines. You know, you can read all about this stuff. You know, directions, and use 20% of system capacity. Example: 1 quart oil stabilizer with 4 quarts of motor oil. So we're going 1.5 quarts. We're just going to give it kind of a good squeeze, and that's about it. I've never been a exact measurements kind of guy. Actually, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and before we put our other oil in there, we're just going to put some of this in here, and that's it. You know, I've always done everything like that. My motorcycles, my trucks, my mowers, I've never had an issue. So I guess I've always just squeezed just enough. All right. That drop down in there. It's kind of gooey like syrup, so it'll take a few minutes. While that's doing it, ooh, that was great. Oil changes can be nasty, but they don't have to be. Take the right precautions. All right. So this is 1.5 quarts. So we're going to go add a little bit of this guy, and then we're going to check it out. We can always drain it, but we don't want to have to do that. All right. All right, we'll stop it right there. Let it drain for a few minutes. Because remember, when we added that oil stabilizer, that took up some of that displacement. So and what we'll do probably tomorrow, sometime this weekend, we're going to take this guy down to probably go to the car wash, kind of lightly wash it a little bit. We don't want to, hit it real hard with that pressure washer, but just a little bit. And kind of get a rag and kind of wash some areas, clean up a lot of these fittings here and everywhere else, and then go ahead and get it cleaned up and greased up again. Now this Z1 has a lot of fittings. See, we got one here, we got one on all of the moving components just about. So you want to make sure whatever mower you have, some might have grease fittings and some don't. So you may want to go with the owner's manual to find that out. Add a little more. If that doesn't show, well then you can call the manufacturer too and ask them, or go online, or just want to find out. Oh, dude. Yeah, this stuff is like syrup. Alright. Alright. We didn't get the air filter. God dang it, we didn't get the air filter because I completely forgot about that. Hey, at least it drained before it flip-flopped out. Let's sit there for a few minutes. So we'll get that air filter probably this weekend, and tomorrow we'll probably go get the spark plug wrench that we're going to need, that socket. I thought I had one. I did for some of the other spark plugs. Alright, so we are full on this, so we don't need any more. And what we'll do is we'll let it run for a few minutes tonight, and then we'll go and check it again in the morning on a flat surface, but that's why we really don't want to overfill it. We are a little bit of an incline, but it'll be alright. Anyways, I hope this oil change kind of helped you guys out. If you have a Z1 or anything else that a zero turn, a sit down mower or whatever, kind of the same process really. If you have a mower and it doesn't have the strain hose here and it just has that right there, you can buy a hose like this from an auto parts store and just thread it on right there. Then you don't have to worry about it. I've had 2 Toro machines and they didn't have that. It was right there. You can't drain. The oil just spills everywhere. I hated that. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Other than that, you guys have a great weekend. I'm Kevin with Texas Lawn Service. You'll see me next time.